Today is my 36-week appointment, and here is what the belly is looking like.
Yeah, she actually killed that baby. Or wait, I'm sorry, let me correct myself. That's actually the baby that she got pregnant with 4 months after she and her boyfriend unalived the 2-month-old baby they had previously. All right, I know that's a lot, so let me explain. This is 27-year-old Demari Alston and 22-year-old Trinity Nyomi Perez, also known as Yellow Barbie on TikTok. So Demari and Nyomi had a baby last July 6th of 2024, and by September 11th, that baby was dead. I promise we're not getting ahead of ourselves here. This is all going to come together. If you're worried about the world we're leaving to our children, well, then it looks like your algorithm brought you to the right place. I'm the mom behind the mask. Welcome. This couple for the last year has played it off like their 2-month-old baby Zayn that they had died from SIDS or something, some kind of natural causes, when in reality, allegedly, they unalived him. When the first record by CPS of them abusing him physically, he was 10 days old. So these videos that you're going to see where they look like loving parents and Nyomi looks like a loving mother, don't believe any of it. And really quickly, I want to preface this by saying I typically try not to show people's kids on this channel. I try to blur faces the best I can and things like that. But in this case, Baby Zayn is no longer with us, and I think it's important to put a face to this story. This adorable little human was a victim of this tragic story, and his parents, who were supposed to protect him and love him and nurture him, were the ones who ultimately did this to him. And this case is so bizarre because Nyomi is an influencer. She has nearly 600,000 followers on TikTok, and she has posted about the grieving period after losing her son. And then when she got pregnant again with her daughter 4 months after losing her son, her followers were very supportive. You know, they thought this baby passed away of natural causes, and now she's getting, you know, her rainbow baby, essentially, the happy ending by getting her daughter. When in reality, for the last year, these people have been hiding the fact that they did this to their son. They were the cause of this. And now everything is coming out in the open. So let me establish a timeline for you. Trinity, or Nyomi, whatever you want to call her, was pregnant and ended up giving birth to baby Zayn on July 6th of 2024. And at this point, as far as we know, everything was fine. Baby Zayn was safe. Unless you want to take into account she's 11 weeks pregnant here and know she's pregnant, and to me, that looks like a vape, but I digress. Baby Zayn was born, but within 10 days, at 10 days old, he was taken to the hospital where he was found to have a fractured arm, a fractured clavicle, and fractured ribs. And we don't really know what the parents told the hospital, but regardless, they got CPS involved, as they should, and they took away primary custody and gave baby Zayn to his great-grandmother, Trinity's grandmother. And I thought, why did he not go to Trinity's mom? Because she's active in her life. But allegedly, she has her own CPS case open for her youngest daughter, who looks to be around 7 or 8. I'm not going to show her, but she is there. And I guess it's neither here nor there, but it does kind of give a bigger picture of what this family is like overall. But regardless, baby Zayn went to his great-grandmother, and the parents were not allowed overnight visits, and they were not allowed to be alone with baby Zayn. While it's unclear exactly what happened, the alleged story is that Demari and Nyomi were at the grandmother's house. Demari was in the bedroom with baby Zayn, and Nyomi was in the living room, while the grandmother was in a separate bedroom. And it was at this time where some incident occurred with Demari and Zayn that eventually cost him his life. They eventually took baby Zayn to the hospital, where he was found to have some type of traumatic brain injury, and that was on September 8th, 2024, and he eventually lost his life on September 11th of 2024. Now, Demari's story is that he tripped over a shoe and he dropped Zayn. And you know, that could be a plausible story if it weren't for a few details that police refused to overlook. One being Zayn's medical history of abuse, which was, like we said in the beginning, at 10 days old, he was brought to the hospital with a broken clavicle, a broken arm, and broken ribs. Not to mention Demari's damning Google search history, which included 2-month-old baby, hard to wake up. What happens if your 2-month-old doesn't have a pulse? Does infant CPR really work? Can CPR save a baby who has stopped breathing? My 2-month-old died. Is anyone getting charged? Also, reportedly, a deleted Google search on September 10th, the day before Zayn died, of how to pass a lie detector test. There were also text messages between the couple where they were talking about how Demari knew that he was being too rough with the baby, how he was handling him. Also, a text thread between the couple where she says, "Detectives here." He says, "Okay, remember, bumped head between 5 and 6 p.m. tripping over a shoe. We both went to Walmart." And he also texted her, "Delete this thread or just these messages." This is each of their charges along with supporting evidence, which lets us know that police likely believe that Demari murdered his son, but that Nyomi knew about it and covered for him. So let's take a look at some of Nyomi's content since she lost her son, because although she may not have been the one to physically and technically do this, she is still covering for the person who did it, allegedly. Yay! Between videos about her son and her life, she has a lot of content promoting products like this one. She promotes a lot of beauty products like lashes, nails, and teeth whitening strips.
We're going to be trying the teeth whitening strips.
Oh, and let's not forget this next one.
Yo, I got my man a punching bag that he can put in our new garage, okay? Basically put it all together, and here I am trying it out, and it suctions to the floor, y'all, so it ain't going nowhere. And then here he comes, testing it out, or whatever.
And I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound insensitive with this one, but I couldn't get past the thought that, you know, she's a few weeks away from giving birth to their second baby when she gifted him this. And all I could think was, did you gift him this because you're scared of what he'll do this time? Did you gift him this so he could get out his anger and frustration on the punching bag instead of, you know, your newborn? And here is the baby shower with their new baby, a baby girl. And honestly, this just makes me sick to my stomach watching this entire thing. Seeing him walk up right here, seeing him interact with family, I'm like, girl, this is what you're standing behind? This is what you're supporting? This is what you're defending? This is the man that's so amazing that he can unalive your 2-month-old baby and you still stand behind him? And not only that, lay down with him again to make another baby? And to see so many people there supporting them. Granted, a lot of them have just been lied to like everyone else and they don't know what really happened. But I guarantee some of those people there do know the truth. Some of the family and friends do know what happened to Baby Zayn. Seeing this couple makes me sick. How they move and interact, how they move online, the things that they post. To do this little at-home photo shoot for their new baby. Just look at the details of this video. Look at what he's wearing. He's wearing the shirt remembering Zayn in this video. Look at all the pictures of Zayn in the background. How do you look at those pictures and not feel something? How do you just continue to move as if nothing happened? These people are dirty. They are grimy. They are disturbing. They have something mentally wrong with them to be able to do things like this. Obviously, he has something wrong with him, but for her to be able to continue to live a life with this man that unalived your 2-month-old baby, girl, you are sick in the head. But I tell you what, Baby Zayn wasn't finished. He got the last laugh. Take a look at this. She posted this. It said it was December 2nd. She posted this saying that her baby came to visit her. Watch in just a second. You're going to see the light flicker on. She said in the caption, "No one was home and there was no motion detected." You're going to see the light come on. She says this was Baby Zayn coming to visit her. And there you have it. The light goes on. She says that's Baby Zayn coming to visit them. And then the comments on that video, coming to haunt you for not protecting him. He came to save his sister. He's trying to figure out how y'all got away for this long. They should have never gave that baby to any of their family members. But as I said before, Baby Zayn wasn't finished. He did come back to save his sister. This is the last video that Nyomi was able to post on her TikTok. This was posted on October 2nd of this year, which just so happens to be the day that she was arrested.
Y'all, so it is October 1st, and I am going to be doing a vlogtober. Well, I'm gonna try and post a vlog every day, so we will see how that goes.
Girl, you're not vlogtobering anything because you got arrested.
It's October 1st. I'm due in 2 weeks, so it's gonna be a little something to do every day, probably, hopefully. But y'all, I'm about to go to my last ultrasound. If you've been watching my journey, you know that I was supposed to have my last ultrasound last time, but they wanted to do one more just to get a growth scan one last time. So we have that to do today. And yeah, y'all, I'm not gonna wear no makeup there. I'm just doing like a little razzle dazzle just to give my face a little. Really, I'm just putting on eyeliner, my moisturizer.
We don't really care about any of this, do we? I know I don't. The point is that as of October 2nd, she was arrested along with Demari. And a lot of viewers, and including myself, believe that yes, this was Baby Zayn's way of protecting his baby sister. Because she said she was due in 2 weeks at this point, and that's when she was arrested. So I would say it's safe to say that she has probably given birth at this point, but they will likely never have the opportunity to raise her, to hold her, or to hurt her. And Baby Zayn knew that. Baby Zayn knew what was going to happen to his baby sister and refused to let her experience the same fate that he did. He protected her. 2 weeks before she came into this world, those parents were taken away. But a lot of people are wondering what took so long for them to get arrested. Well, the truth is that's just how long it took to make this case airtight, to do the autopsy, the forensic evidence, to get everything they needed to make this airtight. But thankfully, they did before they ended up having this other baby. I have no idea what her life is going to be like, but I can only imagine it will be better and she will have more opportunities than she would have if she had been born to these two. I thank you for being here. I know this was a tough watch. It was tough to cover and really had me in my feelings a few times. But I'd love to hear what you think down in the comments. And if you care about keeping kids safe online and in real life, then I welcome you to subscribe and hit that notification bell to support me in that mission. I thank you for being here and see you in the next one.